Have you ever wondered what the rarest disease on earth is? Well, you probably did, because that's why you clicked on this video. But anyway, Sanfilippo syndrome is definitely in that conversation. Fewer than 125,000 people on earth have it. That's less than 0.001% of the global population. Can you imagine not being able to walk or talk as a teenager? That's just one of the challenges caused by this illness. It's sad, but today we're going to put that sadness to the side and learn about Sanfilippo syndrome. I'll describe what it's like having a sibling with the disease and how you could help others. I'm going to be telling you about my sister Cameron and other people with this rare disease. A baby born with Sanfilippo syndrome will behave normally until he or she reaches the age range of about 3 through 5. Then the child will start to lose all of the skills and the characteristics that have been developed. Parents will then probably take the child to a doctor to figure out why the child has been regressing. The person with Sanfilippo syndrome will not be able to talk. Then, slowly, the person will start to lose more abilities, such as walking, and will run around and scream a lot. Currently, it's impossible to know what it's like from the perspective of a person with the disease, since they can't tell you directly. Here's a video of what someone with the disease does in their daily life. That's my sister, and sadly, that's what she does all day. But you know what? I gave her the same amount of love that I give to any of my other family members. It's the love that she deserves. Don't get me wrong, when you have a family member with the disease, it does make you feel sad, but it's not all bad. This person can still express emotions. Most people find their own siblings annoying. You love them, even adore them, but you might find them a little irritating at times. However, when you have a sibling with this disease, there's nothing to dislike about them. It makes you want to show even more love. When the child is diagnosed with the disease, the parent must find a hospital that specializes in treating this ailment. The hospital will perform tests on the child to try to help find clues about how they could make the cure. And if you were wondering why I said make the cure, well, it's because there is currently none. However, doctors all over the world are trying to help by taking kids with the disease and examining them to try to find out what they need to make the cure and how they could do it. Hospitals are trying to help, but they're small in numbers since Sanfilippo syndrome is such a rare disease. The hospital that my sister goes to is in Columbus, Ohio. In the air, the distance from my house to Columbus is 554 miles. That's an 8-hour, 24-minute car ride. In the air, it's only about an hour and a half, but it's still really hard for me and my mom to take care of us for that long. Now going back to the hospital, it's called the Nationwide Children's Hospital. Another great hospital that also helps the disease is the Boston Children's Hospital, and you could probably figure out where it's from just by listening to the name. If you want to help these hospitals, you could donate some money to them. It goes to a good purpose and it helps a lot. Now for the facts. There are only around 110,700 people on Earth who have the disease. That's exactly 0.00142856959% of people. Since that's really long though and specific, you could just say about 0.001% of people on Earth. Another is that there's only about one in every 70,000 births involves Sanfilippo syndrome. It takes 40 weeks for 70,000 babies to be born, And most of the time, it will take longer than that for one baby with the disease to be born globally. The third fact is how long people with the disease normally live. And sadly, it's not a very good thing to hear. The average person with the disease only lives about 15 through 20 years. It's really sad, but it's true. But anyway, the next final fact is that the oldest person with the disease lived up to be 50 years old. If you're wondering how that's true, since I said the average age was only 15 through 20, you're just like me. I found this very interesting, so after some research, I discovered that it was because the person with the disease that lived that long had sanfilippo type D. Now, if you were wondering why I said sanfilippo type D, it's because there are different types of Sanfilippo syndrome. There are 4 types, types A, B, C, and D. They each correspond to a particular enzyme that is missing or not working in the body. The most severe type is A, which sadly is the type that my sister has. It is also the most common, making up over half of the cases. Then type B, which is slightly less severe and more rare, yet still not very rare. Type C is next, which makes the child start to lose abilities later on and have a longer lifespan. It is very rare, and around 10% of people that get diagnosed have it. Then comes D. It is extremely rare, and about 1 to 2% of people that are diagnosed with the disease have it. These people don't start to lose abilities until much later and have a much longer lifespan. Now, if you were wondering if this disease was genetic, then you'd be correct. This disease is genetic. The name of the gene is SGSH. You could only get the disease if both parents have the gene, and it's still only a 25% chance of getting it. When both of your parents have the gene, you either get 1 good gene and 1 bad gene, 2 good genes, or 2 bad genes. There's a 25% chance of getting 2 bad genes. If that happens, it means you're diagnosed with the disease. If you get 2 good genes, you're perfectly healthy. And if you get 1 bad gene and 1 good gene, it doesn't mean anything and you're still healthy. And here is how you could help. Take us one step closer to ending this agony and bringing peace and hope to families like mine. Please go to thecanfoundation.com. Your purchase of clothes will give money to hospitals and other families with the disease. The t-shirt that I have on right now is actually a shirt that my family purchased for me from the website. We also hold fundraisers. Those who donate the most money could get amazing rewards, but the best reward is knowing you are helping people like my very special sister. One person even earned the chance to throw out the first pitch of a Major League Baseball game. I hope I have raised your interest in Sanfilippo syndrome and convinced you that you have the power to help. Now, to end things off, I'm going to thank you so much for watching and hope that you enjoyed.